Hey, are you a business owner, entrepreneur, or professional? If so, we want you to apply to be a featured guest on our show. My name is Adam Torres, and I host the Mission Matters series of podcasts. I've recorded over 3,000 episodes, and we are just getting started. How do you know if you'd be a good guest to be on the show? Well, only one way to find out, and that's to apply, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We want guests that have a story to tell, guests with a brand, a product, or a service that can benefit my audience of listeners. If this sounds like you, go to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. I'd love to talk to you and get to know more about your story. Again, head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Brian Bachand on the line. He's founder over at Evolution. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Adam. Great to be here with you.
All right, so I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about your concept of the evolved leader and what that means to you. And but I think to maybe just to kind of ease us into that topic, maybe let's start out with your company and the name. I mean, it's a pretty unique name. So Evolution, 2 words, all lowercase. Tell us a little bit more about how this came about.
Absolutely. So it's not named twice by accident. It's very intentional. And so the first evolution represents the first evolution as human beings, who we are, the DNA we're born with, the planet that we live on, the circumstances around us that have a direct impact, like a pandemic on every human person, things beyond our control. But the second evolution is the one that we personally can own and evolve personally and professionally in the direction that we want in life. And when you're aligned both personally and professionally, your evolution goes at a much higher rate and greater impact for the success and for what you desire in life.
So let's get a little bit more into your personal story and how you kind of evolved into this mission that you're currently working on over at Evolution. So tell us a little bit more about your background.
Sure. So I am living proof that life is an evolution. So my professional career started out, I was actually a priest for 8 years. So 4 of those years I served in a parish, and the other 4 years I was what would be like a chief of staff to a cardinal who was from the Vatican. And it was an amazing journey. But I decided personally to move and evolve in a new direction. And so I left ministry and I moved to New York City, and I then became an executive. I landed in the world of fundraising. I ended as executive director at NYU Medical Raising Millions, and it was amazing and loved that life. And then went on to become executive director for a $2 billion campaign in Toronto, being in charge of the medical fundraising, and then evolved into becoming a partner into recruitment, doing VP to CEO global recruitment. And then I decided to form my own company, as we just mentioned, Evolution, that brings all of that together. That sense of purpose, that sense of authenticity of who you are as a leader, having been an executive and leading teams, and also now helping others to lead teams. And so my own evolution is one that I know now impacts others as they're evolving as leaders to wanting to make impact. And so kind of have walked the walk and shown that no matter where you are or what age you are in life, you can always keep evolving to what you desire.
So I know one of the things that you're known for is really helping professionals move from a mindset of, my work and over to my mission. And that's one of the reasons I was excited to have you on the show. Obviously, namesake, right? Mission matters. And I mean, that's what we do here. So
Sure.
Our mission is to help others get their stories out. And we build this platform, myself and the other co-founder, Chirag Sagar, really to get stories told that aren't being told and to, so there's a lot of positivity out there going on. So tell us a little bit more about your concept. So from my work to my mission.
Sure. So, often you hear so many people, they'll speak about, my work is as an accountant, my work as a engineer, as a doctor. But when you change that mindset to what your mission is, it changes how you embrace your work and what your occupation may be. It really comes down to having a mission of impact for those around you, having a mission of greater importance of really helping others to be the best they can be, of seeing beyond what sometimes people who are just in the work mode don't see. When you have a mission mindset, you are more inclined to take inspired action. You're more inclined to be open to new ideas. You're more inclined to look at creative possibilities. That when you're trapped in just, this is my work, this is what I've been trained to do, it can be confining. But when you have a sense of mission, there's a sense of deeper purpose, and also building a community along with you that can help accomplish that at even a higher level than you might ever anticipate.
So I don't want to oversimplify this, and there's obviously so much we can get done on a 15-minute podcast episode. Even if we have 15 hours, it would take us a long time to unpack this. But, I feel that a lot of people don't necessarily, nobody goes to work or does, certain things, and they don't say that, I don't want to be mission-based or I don't want to do something. I feel everybody wants that type of connection. So maybe there's some people listening right now, Brian, that are kind of in that in-between spot where they're like, I get what Brian's saying, and I want to go further down that path. What would you say, just in general, would be a good first step, whether it's, and it doesn't have to be an action, but whether it's just reframing the way they're looking at, I don't know, what's that good first step for somebody that thinks they want to start going down that path, or a good first step?
Absolutely. A great first step is the following. It's a very simple question. It's simply to ask yourself a question: what is it that I desire to do in my work? What is it that I desire? And it's not about, what title you want to have or what your next role is or, greater responsibility, but it's the desire of the impact that you want to make. It's the desire, the influence that you want to bring. Because when you really tap into that desire that can be within us, that's where the truth is. And that's really what will lead you forward to sometimes look at new opportunities and new things you've never perceived before. And so I just encourage anyone who's kind of in that between point of yeah, that sounds great, but ask the question, what is it that I desire? Because when you really are honest and you're open to that question, it will show you sometimes new possibilities to take some actions you've never done before. And it sounds simple, but it's actually a little more complicated. But ask that question, and it truly can help set you in that next direction.
Yeah, it doesn't sound simple to me. That's a hard question, Brian.
It is.
That's a hard one.
It is.
That takes that looking inward concept and all these other things. That's a hard question. It's not simple.
It is. But I think, that's the thing that I think right now during everything we've been through with the pandemic, right, and through what we've gone through, really the leaders that are the ones that evolve at the highest level and have the greatest impact are the ones that take the time to go inward, to take the time to ask some of those questions that can be uncomfortable. That doesn't mean you're going to get an answer right away, but that is the right path to do, especially if you're seeking more and you're seeking to have a mission that can have great impact.
Fantastic. So, Brian, there's some people listening right now they'll want to follow up and they'll want to learn more about evolution. But I do want to make sure that the right types of individuals and or organizations connect with you and your team. So, final question, two-part question. Number one, what is the best? What's typically the right type of fit for a client to work with evolution, and what's the best way for them to follow up?
Absolutely. So, the clients that, we love to engage with are individuals and organizations. For individuals, it's anyone who's in a professional leadership role, especially someone that is leading a team, people that are really trying to build a culture around them. And maybe they're seeking to grow their own career, but also impact, the lives around them. Or maybe they are individuals that are seeking to ask that question about what they desire, and they want some assistance of how to kind of unpack that further. The second, for organizations, we work with not-for-profits and for-profits, but definitely for organizations that are seeking to grow in that kind of new mindset of, how not only their work is critical, but how that has a mission as well at a deeper level. People can reach out. LinkedIn, I'm very active on LinkedIn, so you can look me up, send me a note with a connection there saying you heard this interview here, and also through the website, www.evolution.com. Welcome to hear from you.
Fantastic. Well, Brian, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your journey and really how you're, helping people move from working to mission. And I think it's really an awesome concept, and I like the way that you're taking your gifts and really sharing them with others to be a benefit. So I think it's awesome. And to the audience, as always, absolutely. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you're a first-time listener, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to be a return listener. Have some more great guests coming up for you we don't want you to miss out on. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, of course, hit the subscribe button there. But more importantly, leave us some comments on that video. Love to connect with you in the YouTube community and keep the dialogue going there. And Brian, thanks again for coming on the show. It's been great.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, Adam. All the best to you.